everyone, I'm here today to share to you my story about my close encounter with death using the contraceptive pill. Now, I will explain to you why later I said close encounter with death. Now, when I had my first baby, I was delivered by cesarean section. And as you know, when you deliver by cesarean section, you have to space out the next pregnancy to give time for the uterus to heal. Now, at that time, I was advised by my obstetrician to take contraceptive pill. That contraceptive pill was even a low dose one. Saint Pope Paul VI issued an encyclical in 1968 condemning the use of artificial contraception. Now, in response to that encyclical, the bishops here in Canada gathered in Winnipeg and issued the infamous Winnipeg Statement. And based on that statement, they essentially said that a Catholic can use artificial contraception based on her conscience. So it's now based on the conscience of that particular individual, which is wrong, which is false. And Saint Pope Paul VI was even saddened by that response to his encyclical. Now, at that time, I did not know. I thought that it was an official statement of the whole church that you can use artificial contraception based on your conscience. So I had my cesarean section. I needed to space out, so I used the contraceptive pills. One day, around 9 months or so of my use of the contraceptive pill, I suddenly felt a pinch on my lower leg. When I looked, I saw a very big area of hematoma, a big area of bluish discoloration in my right lower leg. Knowing the mechanism of that, knowing also the side effects of contraceptive pills, I was really in panic and I was in fear for my life, because I know that I developed a blood clotting. I developed a thrombus. When you say thrombus, that means that you have a blood clot that is in the area where it formed. Now, that thrombus, that blood clot, could dislodge from the area that it was formed and travel together with the blood and goes to the lungs. And then when it goes to the lungs, it will, depending on its size, it will eventually obstruct the further passage of blood to that distant area where the obstruction happened. Now, a traveling blood clot is now called an embolus. So the fear that I had at that time was pulmonary embolism. Right there and then, I decided to stop the intake of contraceptive pills. And then I prayed that nothing will happen, that the blood clotting will just stay there in my right leg and will not travel to the lungs. This is a diagrammatic representation of a cardiovascular system. You have the arterial system, which carries oxygenated blood, and the blood here comes from the left side of the heart, which is considered the left pump. And the venous system, which carries the unoxygenated blood. The main pattern of the sizes of the blood vessel, this left heart pumps blood to the aorta and then to the rest of the arterial system. The blood vessels here is from a big blood vessel, and then further down, the big blood vessel will branch out and give off smaller blood vessels. The branches become smaller and smaller until it becomes one celled wall called capillary. Now, in the capillary level, they will now give off oxygen. Now, upon giving off oxygen, the capillaries will also, capillary blood will collect carbon dioxide. So now they go to the venous system with unoxygenated blood and also carbon dioxide now. Now the diameter of the vessels is opposite the arterial system. From the smaller capillaries, it becomes venules, and then it becomes veins, and eventually blood vessels will become bigger and bigger, and then they will now go to the right heart, and then from the right heart, the unoxygenated blood carrying carbon dioxide will be pumped out to the lungs. So this is the lungs. Why I was afraid of pulmonary embolism. I am trying to explain to you. So I had developed a blood clot here in my legs, and so that blood clot could dislodge from where it developed and then be carried to the veins and then to the right heart, and from the right heart it will be carried and travel with the blood to the lungs. So guys, that's my sharing for today, and I hope in your spacing out of your pregnancies you will use the safe methods, the calendar rhythm method, the cervical mucus method, and the basal body temperature method. You can use all the three methods together because they are essentially based on the normal physiological processes of the body. They do not interfere with any bodily functions. You're just observing what is actually going on in your body. Okay, so as the cliche now goes, be safe, stay safe. Bye, and thanks for watching.